When we have the privilege of talking about the MCubed model with leaders of other universities, we typically explain that MCubed is possible at the University of Michigan because of the ethos of intellectual generosity and breadth of academic excellence that characterizes this community. I'm honored to introduce someone whose leadership is vital to nurturing and sustaining that institutional culture. Dr. Mark Schlissel has been a faculty member at Johns Hopkins University and the University of California, Berkeley, as well as a dean at Berkeley and the provost of Brown University. He is the 14th president of the University of Michigan and the first physician scientist to lead our institution. Since his arrival at Michigan in 2014, he has expressed appreciation for the MCubed program and urged Michigan toward even more interdisciplinary collaboration. Welcome, President Schlissel.
I should have officially registered because I want these cool colored ice cubes. And listening to Hail to the Victors, now there are probably only two people that could draw a crowd like this for Hail to the Victors. One of them is a $7 million a year football coach, and the other is today's speaker, Francis Collins. So it's really wonderful to be back here at the MCubed Symposium to help celebrate innovation, ambition, and research at the University of Michigan. I really appreciate the outstanding work done by the MCubed team, including Executive Director Professor Mark Burns, and all of the many collaborators and cubers across the community. I remember fondly speaking at the initial MCubed Symposium during my first year as president back in 2014. Hearing about this highly creative initiative and learning about the various cubes helped me better appreciate the amazing collaborative culture that exists here at the U of M. This culture has served as a key enabler for university-wide initiatives we've launched in recent years as well. There is no shortage of creativity among our faculty, and MCubed helps unleash their ambition more quickly by tapping into the great interdisciplinary breadth of our institution. In the years since, I've enjoyed watching the cubes multiply, both in number and in scope, and I believe we need more of this. The biggest problems we face as a society don't conveniently set themselves up to be knocked down by one-source solutions. Problems don't know what discipline they're supposed to fall under, they're just problems. As a 200-year-old public university with outstanding academic breadth, we have the potential to be so much more than the sum of our many excellent parts. We need our best artists and humanists, scientists, teachers, and others to pursue knowledge that'll change society for the better. To that end, I'm pleased to announce that we'll launch another round of MCubed collaboration and innovation next year. MCubed 3.0 will be supported in part by $5 million from the central administration. And for the first time, faculty from all three of our campuses, Ann Arbor, Dearborn, and Flint, will be eligible to CUBE. MCubed 3.0 will begin distributing funds next fall, with preparations beginning this coming spring. So get those ideas ready. The MCubed team is also seeking ways to collaborate with other universities within the state of Michigan and beyond. It's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. National Institutes of Health Director Francis Collins has spent his career championing collaborative multi-investigator science. When you take on the types of colossal projects he's worked on over the years, bringing together teams of outstanding researchers is essential. Dr. Collins joined the University of Michigan faculty as an assistant professor in 1984. He ran a very busy lab that helped develop an enormously successful approach to identifying disease-associated genes called positional cloning, which famously led to the identification of the gene responsible for cystic fibrosis. At the time, Dr. Collins' discovery of the molecular and genetic basis of cystic fibrosis was amongst only a few diseases whose underlying genes had been found. He was a true pioneer, as today there are thousands such genes. The work of Dr. Collins' lab also led to identifying the genes that, when mutated, are responsible for Huntington's disease, neurofibromatosis, and several other inherited diseases, including the BRCA1 breast cancer gene and familial prostate cancer. In 1993, Dr. Collins was recruited to succeed DNA pioneer James Watson as the second director of the Human Genome Project and the first director of the forerunner of the National Human Genome Research Institute. U of M faculty member David Ginsburg, who's a longtime friend of Dr. Collins, described this career transition as leading the mother of all team science. Dr. Collins was a global scientific leader during an intense period of investigation, resulting in the April 2003 announcement of the completion of the human genome sequence by an international team of scientists. Dr. Collins notes that this monumental announcement came 2 years ahead of schedule and under budget. In honor of his revolutionary discoveries, President George W. Bush presented him with the National Medal of Freedom in 2007. The same year, he received an honorary degree from the University of Michigan. For many, receiving our nation's highest civilian honor would be a wonderful career capstone. But in 2009, Dr. Collins was chosen to lead our nation's biomedical research effort as director of the National Institutes of Health. Since then, he's been an even greater advocate for publicly supported discovery, research partnerships that cross institutional barriers, and the idea that genetic information belongs in the public domain. He frequently testifies before Congress and is perhaps our nation's leading scientific spokesperson. Our colleague Dr. Ginsburg also reports that Dr. Collins likely holds the record for most appearances by a scientist on the Colbert Report. Before we hear from our distinguished guest, I want to share a short piece of advice he gave to young scientists in 2010 in an interview published in the journal Circulation Research. I quote, "Work on really important problems and seek out great mentors," he said. "Furthermore, be aware that science does not operate in a vacuum. Part of your job is to get the word out to the rest of the world about the ways in which your research may help improve health, ease suffering, and reduce disability." Dr. Collins, you have my deepest appreciation and admiration for your dedication to discovery and your contributions to the University of Michigan, our nation, and all of humankind. Please help me welcome former University of Michigan colleague and current director of the NIH, Dr. Francis Collins.